Hey everybody, Shelko04 here. This is part two of my video documenting the events that took place on our property here 8 days ago. And to review, basically there was shooting that was taking place in the dark on our property, or maybe the property next door, and people stealing copper from the old guy who lives next door. That's sort of the just go watch the first video. Anyway, let's talk about the mistakes that were made. Number one, we should have both been out of the vehicle or both been in the vehicle. The fact that I was outside of the vehicle when there was somebody over there by that igloo cooler and Andrea was in the vehicle, that was a bad deal. A solution or a scenario that we should have done was she should have gone out the driver's side door, and we should have gone somewhere over there. We should have a rally point established somewhere on the property, and we should have left the vehicle and gone there. The other problem is that, we were dark. I told her to turn out all the lights. Now, we're dark, and I can't tell because the bad guys are over there in the arroyo. I can't tell if they've got flashlights or not. But the minute we shine a flashlight in our area, we lose all the advantage. So we're as blind, essentially, as they are on our property. Next mistake is going up to meet the cops. What I should have done, again, is we should have gone to our rally point, and let's say for the sake of argument that it was going to be in those dirt, we're going to be crouched down in those dirt mounds over there. I should have told the dispatcher, if the cops want to talk to us, we will talk them into where our location is. And I could have whispered in the phone, how did the cops need to get over the fence and come to the south and come to the west a little, blah, 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 and brought the cops to us. My going across an area where I thought gunfire was taking place and across the area where I had just seen the bad guy traverse, major screw up on my part. Then when I got to the base of that hill and turned on my flashlight so that the cops would not shoot me, again, that was another mistake because I had just blown my cover and I identified my location. Next, there I am up there at the cop cars that are, I assume, locked, but they're running. Lights are on. So the cops coming up to their vehicles have no idea who I am. And the bad guy, if he's got a problem with the cops or wants to go vandalize the vehicles or steal a vehicle or something, now I am there. So basically, I went from a bad situation to a potentially worse situation by moving in an area where I was unprotected and yet was going to be drawing the attention of anybody and everybody. Now, the next day, we went and talked to the old guy who lives in that trailer to find out what he knew. And here's the rest of the story. It sounds like frequently people come and steal copper from the like the compressors and the wiring harness and stuff in the restaurant equipment. And so that's nothing new. There's a 30-year-old kid who lives in that trailer now as well. I talked to him. He is a self-admitted felon. So he said, when I asked him, did you hear the cops were here? Did you see the cops? Did you talk to the cops? He said, yeah, I knew they were here, but they don't do anything for me. They hassle me every time they can. So I had no interest in coming out and talking to them. And I'm not going to call them ever again either. I don't want to get involved with the cops. So then he goes on to say that he, as I mentioned, he's a felon and has done time in prison. He then says, basically, that he was the one shooting. And here's sort of the way it sounded to us. You got the 75-year-old guy who owns that property and lives in that trailer. And he's doing a courtesy for a girl who's, let's say, 30. I think her name is Sabrina. Sabrina is sort of his, like, adopted granddaughter. So the old guy says to Sabrina, you can stay with me as long as you need to get back on your feet. Sabrina brings her boyfriend along. We'll call him Buddy for this conversation. Buddy is the felon. Buddy is the one who has been shooting at the people stealing the copper. Shooting from that house back essentially to where that igloo cooler was. So, Buddy was shooting. Now, my problem is that because that fence, that barbed wire fence is right there delineating my property from the old guy's property, I don't feel comfortable pointing a weapon in that direction. That's a bad deal. You know, it'd be bad enough to do it on my property, but so they're shooting, and I can't tell where they're shooting. Now, I don't want to get involved in a firefight, nor do I own anything that's worth dying for. So we should have left. That's the big mistake. But getting back to what I was saying about Buddy. Now, in talking with him, it sounds like Sabrina has some friends who are gang members. And those friends, those gang members said, we're going to come and steal stuff from your property. And Buddy said, don't do that, or I'll raise holy hell. To which the gang members apparently said to Buddy, you don't tell us what to do, or we'll kill you. So that was sort of where that was left. That was a week ago. Let's see, are there any other screw-ups? I guess the other screw-up is walkie-talkies. You know, the minute I left the RV and went up there to talk to the cops and left Andrea behind, she had no idea of knowing if I had gotten up there safe, if I had run into one of the bad guys, anything like that. So I should have had a walkie-talkie with me, and she should have had a walkie-talkie with her, so I could have let her know that I'm up there. I could have let her know that I'm coming back. I could have let her know that I'm 20 feet away, so don't shoot me. I mean, all kinds of things about communication that, as I said, we sort of lost out on. Now, this was essentially where these videos were going to end, but we had something happen here 48 hours ago, and it's quite interesting. So now, actually, we're going to go up there by that gate, and we'll talk about what happened there the other day. All right? Shelko 4 out.